Well, welcome to the Glenn Beck program. Tonight, I can't believe we're asking some of these questions. The hidden war. There is one going on, and this one's being fought by our government to win. The second one, an outrageous rumor that's going out on the internet. Tonight, we tell you about the H1N1 prison camps. And have we found another Van Jones? I tell you, the answer to that one is no. We found someone, I believe, worse. Demand answers. We'll give you some of the answers. The rest of them are going to have to come from the weasels in Washington, but you are going to have to get them. If you believe this country is great, but the spread of corruption cannot be contained, stand up. Come on, follow me. Hello, America. I am Glenn Beck. I am a dad, just asking questions, honest questions, turning over every stone, trying to figure out what is true and what is not. I'd sure like some help on this one. I'd sure like some responses from those in Washington, but they don't respond to these questions, which should tell you an awful lot, shouldn't it? Once you find the answer, no matter what it is, you need to stand up and then speak without fear, for the truth shall set you free. I come to you tonight on the 8th anniversary of the war in Afghanistan. Are we doing everything we can to fight that and win? You're going to have to make your own decision on that. But there is another war that's taking place now, and the same politicians that have not used the full force of the United States to fight the real wars have used their full force on this one. Oh, they don't have to have town hall meetings or take polls for this war. They know how to fight this one. And they know, if they do, oh, we'll continue to elect them. This is a war on the U.S. dollar, a hidden war, only because the media isn't doing their job. And the only ones to be left in the wreckage of the battlefield are you and your children and their future. For some reason, no one in the media will tell you this, and I think it's because they just think that you're too stupid to understand it. Or it's just way too complicated to explain. Maybe somebody could get somebody to put on a white jacket and pretend they're a doctor and explain it. Let me tell you something. You're not too stupid, and it's not that complicated to explain. We on this program have never talked down to you, though everybody claims that we're all dummies here. I challenge the other shows on the actual networks that people are supposedly watching to have a conversation and don't treat their viewers with contempt. How long ago did I ask you to read up on the Weimar Republic? Well, the battle is beginning to rage here in America. In the last 24 hours since we last met, I have a list of the things that our government has done to defeat the American dollar. Boy, this is a war they are fighting with everything they've got. First of all, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she's got a new tax idea. Oh, yeah, new tax on the table. Oh, yo, you're the best. She's talking to Charlie Rose. Talking to Charlie Rose about the VAT taxes. Manufacturers at each stage of production get a tax based on how much each producer adds to a product. I love that. I'm just trying to think of all of the value that taxes add to my life. Speaker Pelosi emphasized, of course, that all of the reworking of the tax code would not result in an increase in taxes on middle-class Americans. Of course not. Would she lie? Next, we turn to the Wall Street Journal. Remember, things that have happened in the last 24 hours. The FAA has granted a $272 million in stimulus funds, roughly 25% of the $1.1 billion provided to the FAA, for airport work, to projects that fall below the agency's own threshold. So we're getting crappy improvements for our money. It's the new American way. According to the Journal, the FAA steers money to projects that get a 41 on a scale from 1 to 100. For those who didn't have their papers corrected with red ink, that's bad. On the stimulus, they raised their threshold to 62, but I want to show you a chart. You can see that tens of millions of dollars in stimulus going to airports that scored pretty darn low here. Oh, look at this one in Michigan. Yeah, that's in Freeland, Michigan right there. That one's really, really special. It scored a 38 in the FAA's rating system, and that got, $11 million. Then, next story. Thousands of people lined up in Detroit. I love this. They were lined up yesterday because they falsely were thinking that they were registering for $3,000 in stimulus money from the Obama administration. Officials say the city was granted $15 million to help residents pay their bills and their rent, or to pay for temporary homes for the homeless. Are there no empty houses in Detroit? That's weird. By the way, all of this problem, this wasn't covered by unions or special interests or government. Nope. They had nothing to do with the problems in Detroit. Next story, Representative Steve Israel. He's from New York. He held a town hall meeting where the fire marshal had to shut the doors because so many people wanted to attend. Listen to this.
Let me tell you.
America, we are turning into a banana republic. This is America? He was stopped several times by people chanting, "Stop printing the money." Israel said the federal government would administer a public option health plan just like Medicare and Medicaid. Oh my gosh, that sounds good. And he said, quote, "The days of insurance companies dropping you because you're sick are over." Really? Is that true? Could I show another chart here? You're going to love this because look at these evil insurance companies here. Denied 43,000, 11,000, 9, 590, 100. Whoa! Who has denied 475,000 people because they were sick? Medicare. Whoa! This is a gift to special interest, pharmaceutical companies, labor unions, who are orchestrating all the things that you see in Washington. What is the group that has so many union members? Oh, I remember, SEIU. I'm sorry, I digress. Back to the last 24 hours here. The Obama administration has announced a $35 million construction project in New Hampshire. This one is great. Oh, I love you. This one requires union representation and makes non-union workers pay dues and contribute to a union pension fund. Isn't that great? By the way, just 8.7% of construction workers are unionized. So it helps everybody, I guess. Coming soon, the Aspire Act, where every baby born gets $500 from the U.S. government. According to U.S. News and World Report, low-income children are going to get more money than, well, because they don't need, those rich babies don't need it. Oh, and before I go, the CBO has just given their estimate for health care costs. The estimate includes a projected net cost of $518 billion over the next 10 years, expansion, for the insurance coverage. That net cost itself reflects a gross total of $829 billion in credits and subsidies, provided through exchanges. Increased net outlays for Medicaid and the Children's Health Insurance Program, CHIP, and tax credits. And let me ask you something. What the hell is this? What is this? Is this incompetence? This is 24 hours. 24 hours. Is it incompetence? Is it a series of errors so epic in scale that Cecil B. DeMille and Jesus himself couldn't film it to make it believable?